Well, catastrophe strikes. Someone dumped apparently an entire can of food into my 20-year-old tank that has not been fed in years. And I want you to look at the result. Let's get as close as we can here and see what's going on. If you look closely, you will see bacteria and algae growing on every plant. Little bubbles from fouling, rotten plants. This is a thoroughly disgusting mess. Just look at that. All right, so the reason we're gonna portray this is because we're gonna show what can be done about it without destroying the tank. Keep in mind, the fish in it, and there are a few, are still healthy. They don't have any kind of infection. And the substrate, I'm sure, is still healthy. The plants are coated with bacteria and with a foul kind of slime, as is the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin by gently stirring up all of the waste. We're not going to stir up the bottom. So as I get my hand in here, first thing is to pull out the filter, which is covered in slime. That goes there. Another one down here. We'll get these out. Now, let's take the light and the glass off so we can get in here and actually manage this. All right, let's look at the top. Let's see, here's a piece of wood. Doesn't look like much to me, we don't need that. These plants, look at this. See that? That's all slime. I don't know what happened here, I can't even imagine. It was substantially overfed, either once or over an extended period of time. I don't know which. An extended period, I would say, would be probably a couple of weeks. A week at least, somebody putting food in here every single day. You know what I need is, I need a scrubby. Can you cut the camera off and go get a scrubby for me?
Is it alright if I leave it running?
Yeah, leave it running. I'll just keep doing this. I don't know if you're seeing anything. I want to try to get some of the slime that's on the plants, the dead plants and whatnot. Just try to get this cleaned off. As best possible. This is amazingly foul. I am frankly stunned. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Let's get the glass clean, get some of the gunk off the glass. Man. This is astounding. I'm amazed how gunky this is. I don't know how long this has been going on.
Reminds me of the fishing pier.
The fishing pier?
Yeah.
How's that?
I look at the pilings sometimes.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You see it like this sometimes, like out in the Gulf.
You gotta have a decent
In the
flow,
day.
and you gotta have some shade. But yeah, you'll get giant blankets of algae. And then you accidentally hook it, and then you end up with all of it at your feet, and it smells disgusting.
Amazing.
Well, and I think part of the reason this tank gets the buildup it does is it being in sunlight and having 24-hour light.
Well, except it's never had this kind of buildup. I mean, this has been set up for 10 years, and it's never had anything comparable to this. It's always been pristine, never any algae growing in it, never anything growing on the plants. Just has never had a problem.
Oh.
It's very obviously a function of a substantial amount of food being dumped in it, either all at once or over an extended period of time. I frankly don't know which.
I just wanted to point out this is like the perfect growth tank for plants and algae. I mean, whether it's overfed or not.
Well, all right, so what we're doing now is we're simply trying to get this kind of stirred up off the plants, because it's kind of slimy on the plants, and try to get the plants more or less clear of it so I don't have to pull all the plants out. I don't want to do that. And then what we'll do is we'll start siphoning. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. This is going to take a while because we're going to have to do it a few times. Let's see if we can get some of this gunk down. Oops. Now what I don't want to do is stir up the bottom. I want to try to protect the substrate. All of this stuff we're seeing is essentially on the surface. It's not deep in the substrate. So we're going to just keep siphoning. You know what? I'm gonna get the bigger hose. You want to stop in a minute? I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna go get. Okay. Let's do a little more here. All right, let's dump these out. Okay, so we've taken about 10 gallons out. We're gonna put. We've got 2 buckets of water here. Just pick the whole bucket up.
Yep.
We're gonna dump the whole bucket in. We're gonna put 10 gallons of water back into it. Wanna go ahead and pour it? I'm gonna catch it. So we don't start at the bottom. Let her rip. I got it. Okay, let's do the other one. Keep her going. Doing great. Let her rip. Go ahead. Can't go too fast. I got it. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Now, take a look at this. It's a little milky. I think what we'll do is bring the buckets over. We're going to drain it one more time, and then we'll refill it and it'll be ready to go. Are we still on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me 2 buckets. I think at this point, I'm not so worried about, just put it down, thank you. Not so worried about getting specific location stuff out. I just want to get the water out. The bottom is actually pretty clean. When we put the water in, I noticed there wasn't much really on the bottom. There'll be a little bit. We're not going to be able to do this 100%. But it's going to be really close. So just want to get the 2 buckets out that we just put in. And then we'll refill it and let it settle. And I think it will be fine. A lot more plants here, and the waste is much more kind of mixed in with it. Okay. All right, so we're going to dump these, and then we're going to cut now. We're going to dump these, and then we're going to refill it. We'll come back when we get the buckets of water up here, so we can. All right, we've rinsed this once. We siphoned it out. I can see there's mulm in here, and it's a fair amount. I could do it again. But at this point, we've done 2 siphons, and I think what's left is not going to be much of a problem. We can always move it to the front and siphon it again. So what we're going to do now is refill it, and then hook everything back up, and get it going again. So, you ready? Let's do it. The critical thing is to keep the water from digging out the sand. You're good. Keep it going. And if you just catch it with your hand, catch the stream, it'll diffuse it. It won't stir anything up. Okay, one more. Good job. Okay, that's great. We could use another bucket. I think what we'll do right now, though, is we'll try to get the pumps hooked back up. Let's see. So we can get the filters working. We squeezed them out. They're pretty clean. They had some slime on them, kind of on the surface, so we got that. Do you know where the base is for these? I need 2 bases.
I clean them off before we use them.
Yeah. Thank you. One. Two, and put the base back on. Oops, got it on the wrong end. That won't work. Now I got one plant here. Let's put him back in. Okay. So what we've done now is we have cleared out the bulk of the muck. We've got new water in it. Bring the camera over here so we can show what's still left. You can see there's still some mold at the bottom, but it's not so much that I'm going to be concerned about it. We got the bulk of the waste out. I'm going to wait. We'll put another bucket of water in this, and we're going to let it sit for at least a day. Give it a chance to settle and see how it looks tomorrow. If need be, we'll come back and do another video on it. So what we have done is we have saved this tank from utter destruction. It was catastrophically fouled to the point where it could not continue to survive without some kind of dramatic action. The dramatic action we took was to basically stir up all the slime without stirring up the substrate. We did not stir up the substrate at all because all of this was on the surface. We stirred it up, wiped the leaves as best we could, siphoned it out twice to get most of the water out twice. And now we have refilled it a second time, and we'll be adding a little more water to it. And I think we're good to go. It'll be a little bit of mold in it, but really not much. What we might do now is add another ½ inch or so of sand to it to give it a chance, give all that mold a chance to settle down into the substrate. And we will have saved this 20-year-old tank. So that's the story, folks. Lesson learned. Don't know where all that food came from, but it certainly was catastrophic. But I think we've saved the tank without destroying anything. The plants are all still in the soil. The fish are still in it. There were only a few. We got the filters hooked back up. The water will clear up by tomorrow, and we'll be back to normal. So, catastrophe averted. Thanks very much. Hope this has been a good learning experience. Take care for now. See you in the morning on our morning stream. Bye for now. Father Fish.